Hi guys, today I want to talk to you about wool, and this has been a very requested video since I put out my overnight diapering for both of the boys videos. I have a 6-month-old and a 2-year-old. I believe the 6-month-old was like 4 months old or something when I filmed that video, but I'll leave a link down below to our overnight cloth diapering solutions for both of the boys. And I got some requests to talk about wool in those videos because I mentioned it. So here I am to tell you guys all I know about wool. I am not a wool expert, but this is what works for our family. This is what we do to keep up on our wool and take care of our wool. And yeah, so let's hop right in and let me tell you about what we do. So for our oldest son, Calvin, we will put on his nighttime diaper all wrapped up, everything all together with the cover on. And then we will put on some wool pants for his pajama pants, and he just wears a regular white t-shirt for bed. So he wears wool pants and a t-shirt. That's his pajamas. For our littlest, he's still wearing regular jammies, you know, like button up footsie pajamas and all that kind of stuff. So every once in a while, like if we're running low on our jammies, if we haven't done laundry in a while, we might put him in some wool pants, but for the most part, he's still good in his little overnight diaper. Our toddler can sometimes pee a ton in his overnight diaper, so putting the wool on top just makes an extra special barrier on top. So we're not relying on the wool to be the totally complete waterproof part of his nighttime diaper, but it is like that extra little layer that keeps everything else, the sheets and his shirt and everything, from being wet in the morning. Now we have lots of wool longies, is what we kind of call them in the cloth diapering community, but they're pretty much just wool pants. My mom made us a ton. We have at least half a dozen or so, which you totally do not need that many. She made out of sweaters that she got from the Goodwill, and she just sewed them all up into cute little pants for us. There are lots of tutorials out there, videos and like blog posts about how to make wool pants out of sweaters. So I'll try to find some and leave them down below for you guys. I did not make any of these. My mom made them all. So that's where I'm getting at with that. I don't have a video on how to do it, but I'll try to find you guys something. You do have to lanolize them when you first get them. Lanolizing just means like applying a lanolin layer to the wool. So what I do is I melt down some of that lanolin once again and put it in the water, and you can kind of see a film develop on the top of the water, and that's like the oiliness of the lanolin. And so I'll inside out once again, because you want the waterproofness to come from the inside out. Inside out, I will press that down into the water with that lanolin layer on top, and you want to let it sit for a while, and then I'll come back like maybe 20 minutes later and flip it the other way, maybe add a little extra lanolin and lanolize the pants. Now I think the part that intimidates people the most about wool is the wash routine, because you cannot wash a pair of wool pants the same way that you do your regular cloth diaper laundry. If you put this in the washing machine on, you know, like the heavy duty cycle and hot water, it's going to ruin these pants. You can't throw it in there like everything else. You have to hand wash these guys. If you absolutely totally cannot hand wash, if maybe, I don't know, if you've got some poo on there and it's like just not coming out for you, you can put them in the washer on like a really delicate cycle, but I still would try to hand wash them as much as possible before throwing them in the washing machine. And you definitely don't want to throw them in the dryer either. The heat will felt them up and they won't be stretchy and it'll be really stiff, and it's just not a good idea. You don't want them to be super hot. So when you are washing them by hand, you want your water to be very lukewarm. You don't want it too hot, you don't want it too cold, just somewhere in the middle. So for the wash routine in particular, I like to turn mine inside out, and I have like a little kit of things that I use for the wool wash routine. It's like a little old like salsa jar, some lanolin. And lanolin is something you can get like for your nipples when you're breastfeeding, just in case you were wondering. So there's a brand, Medela has one, and also the Lansino brand, which is what I have here. And then also some baby shampoo, baby wash. So I just take a blob, I totally don't know an exact measurement, but a blob of the baby shampoo, as well as maybe like ½ an inch or so of the lanolin. I know that's a really specific, like these are not real measurements. And throw that in the jar and use some really, really hot water, as hot as your faucet will go, and put that about halfway you know, like fill the jar like halfway, and then I just shake it and shake it and shake it. The hot water is going to help the lanolin melt a little bit, and then the soap is going to help it, I don't know what the word is. You know, like when you're mixing oil and water and the soap just kind of helps it all mix together a little bit better. That's what the soap is doing too, as well as being an actual cleanser for the pants themselves. So I will then fill up the sink, and I fill it up, like I said, like a medium kind of heat. You know, I don't want it too hot, don't want it too cold. Fill up the sink and then add in my jar of mixed water, lanolin, soap solution, and then I'll throw that into the water. If that hot water from the jar made the water a little too warm, I'll add a little bit of cold water or whatever just to make the water a good temperature. And so I turn the pants inside out, and then I will kind of just like mush them around and wash them around a little bit there in the sink, and you can see the water's totally gross. It's actually like pretty gross, but just like imagining all this stuff inside of the wool pants. But I will rinse it out a little bit, you know, like press it up against the side of the sink to, you know, get all the water out and whatnot. You don't want to be too rough with it, because that can create the felting again, and that makes it stiff and not stretchy like wool is originally. So you just want to be kind of delicate with it, but you do want it to get clean. So you might have to wash it a couple times, you might have to rinse it a couple times, but yeah, that's how I wash the wool pants. I really only wash the wool pants about every other month or so. I have read that like once a month is kind of a recommended amount, but honestly, I probably don't do that every month. It's about every other month. If you're kind of thinking to yourself, like, when was the last time I washed the pants? Maybe you should wash the pants. Or like if there's a poo mess or something, you're definitely gonna have to wash them after that. But yeah, so that's all that we do for our wool. It does sound a little intimidating at first, but it's a lifesaver for bedtime, definitely. I love using it as regular pants over our already really nice overnight diaper system. This all in itself, just our regular overnight diaper, will not leak most of the time. It's just like it wicks up here on top where like my son's shirt is, or since he likes to sleep on his belly, like it'll wick onto the sheets and stuff on his bed. It's just like it just comes right out of there on the top, you know, because he's a little boy, so he pees like toward the front, you know. And this wool just makes it an extra little protective barrier. So it's not totally necessary, but we really do enjoy it. I can definitely vouch for all the women who say, and dads too, I guess, who say that wool is the nighttime solution. It's definitely a big, big factor for making it through the night with nothing else getting wet. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I hope that I kind of explained myself decently. I will talk to you guys next time. Let me know what you want to see here on this channel. And like I said, I will talk to you next time.